Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's complete the second stanza of yesterday's Moonlight Sonata of the Chinese poem. Yes, if we have many moon poems, and this is one of the best known moon poems. Okay, because it talks about how you feel for anybody who is away from home. 举头望明月. So yesterday we talked about somebody who couldn't fall asleep and turn around and see the moonlight through the window pane, cast a bright light as if it's some frost on the ground. And now continue talking about, okay, no, you look at the ground. Now you start to look up. 举头, lift your head. And then 望明月. 望, okay. In English, it's look, right? But in Chinese, we differentiate. It's a near look or far away look. This one is looking as if you look at the moon. So if you look at the moon symbol here, and this is a bright symbol, it's also moon passing through the grid of the window. So there's a moon, and this is a moon as well. So when you look as far as looking at, because you cannot look at the sun, right? So the furthest thing you can look, besides stargazing, which probably stars are not as popular object of looking unless you know what you're looking for, right? And I believe ancient probably astrology was kept within a small group. So relatively looking at the moon, like everybody unanimously can identify that big object, most likely in a crescent shape like this, is the moon. And the moon watching is the furthest as your vision can go. And that's the kind of look. It's not just any look. It's look as far as your vision can go. Okay, 举头望明月. 低头思故乡. Okay, so here is the main theme. All that twist and turning, checking out the moon is too bright, cannot fall asleep, and then as if it's a frost, it feels that chill, right? And then you look at the moon, right? And from that moon, start to like from the furthest away, like up to the space you can see. Now it's turning inward. After you look up, you start to look down. You look down, kind of nose pointing down to your heart. Now we have the heart symbol right here. 低头, you bow down your head, and then 故乡 is our hometown. And 故乡 in Chinese, I translate it as old town. And each one got so rich historical meaning in it. So this is an overview of the meaning and the structure of the poem. So just like in that goose poem we talked about, the formation of 5 character stanzas is the 1, 2, 4 are rhymed. And then the third one is the jarring sound before the harmony, right? So 床前明月光, 光 sound, right? 疑是地上霜, the frost, 霜, and now we have 香, okay. Because it rhymes so well, and also the picture it painted, and the temperature, right? It can even paint the temperature with 霜. Then it gives you the homesickness. And 香, because it rhyme, it's so easy. Like I'm not particularly good at memorizing things, but even me, I can remember it because of the rhyme. So we have the 1, 2, 4 rhyming structure. Okay, so the only thing that's not rhymed is the 月, which is the connecting imagery. From the beginning, peeping through the window pane, to is it frost, right? The temperature change, and then 举头望明月, that's the object out there. And okay, the moon connection to the homesickness is because however far you go, you're going to look at the same moon. So that moon is almost like an ancient satellite communication thing. It's something in the space everybody can see. And you have that connecting point through the moon. because wherever you are, you and your home folks are going to like look at the same moon. And before cell phone, easy to connect thing, you can only imagine that people you love or at your hometown miss you too, and they're going to look at the same moon and kind of looking from different point to have that silent communication of homesickness. So that's why in the moon poems in Chinese is connected easily, conveniently to homesick. And also probably because this poet Li Bai, we talked about his poems many times before. He probably also popularized of the moon's connection to homesickness. It could be culturally already there. It's easy to relate to, but through the poem, like how it rhymes, the scenery here is so nicely painted from the external to internal feeling. All that he set a good example. So that staying in our Chinese consciousness of every mid-autumn festival, which we eat mooncake, even if we eat it, we're supposed to view the moon, thinking about our loved ones at hometown. Okay, 举头望明月. 举, we have three finger hand symbol, both on left, right, reaching. I don't have 5-finger hand symbol. So here, 3 and 5 finger in the same frame, and you can see 5 finger have this differentiator of tilting the middle finger toward the right. The left is the hair or feather. The right is a human hand. If we use human hand symbol, not to talk about hand gesture specifically, but use the hand to form a picture of somehow, right? We use 3-finger hand symbol. But over here, because the whole thing, lifting, is you're using your hand motion. You're talking about what your hand do specifically. Therefore, we have this 5-finger hand symbol in the frame. But the 2-finger hand symbol, 3-finger hand symbol, and the other 3-finger hand symbol reaching down from top of the string. So gosh, for this Ji character have all 3 formats of hand symbol in Chinese character. So the one reaching downward from top of the screen, obviously it's not your hand anymore. It's somebody else's hand. You're reaching from the bottom up, somebody reaching from top down. So that's your opposite direction. And then we are having here this figure turn out to be spoon holding something. So the top portion actually here pronounced as it means you're given something. And in ancient times, the best gift, or the gift giving in ancient times, would be give you a spoon of soup. It's important for survival. That shows kindness already. And that's how you're gifted. You're given this food source. And then you're going to accept that gracefully with both hands, kind of reaching, hold it, right? And because the whole thing is about this giving motion from somebody else, and they're reaching out to take, give and take in this frame. And then you use 5-finger, means you're really, lift means you're actually holding it up, right? So instead of probably this is a motion of giving from you to the other person. You're lifting something up. And when you give something with respect, you're going to use both hands, and also like you're going to lift it above your head to show respect, right? I guess that's kind of a universal body language. Okay, anyways, it's lift. And your head expressed by a human body, right? The front body, the back side of the body, and the head. The head expressed by verticalized nostrils and nose bridge and whole profile edges of your head. So Chinese use the center of the face, the parameters of the face to symbolize the whole face. So the face, the head, sitting on top of your body. So this is a zoom up view of your head. And then the left side means, standing tall. This is an ancient instrument. You can see it's standing, kind of like a drum, standing up there. And here, this horizontal line, I don't exactly know. It could be a lid to a pot thing, because you have to hold the pot up straight as well. Otherwise, food are going to spill, right? That's a big crime ancient times, I would imagine. Then you have the head holding up, facing the pot of food. So that's the whole picture. And it turned out to be the head. And I guess the left side, the pot, doesn't mean you're interacting with the pot, but you're holding your head straight up as if it's the pot is holding itself straight up. So this head holding straight up, I guess, is the behavioral expectation of ancient times, how you hold your head. And so the whole thing becomes head. Okay, 举头, lift your head. 望明月, look afar. So you have the moon as the object of your looking. And then you have the human figure. So both of these are two human figures. This is just like this. It's just transformed to fit into different different frames, but it's the same human figure. And this one is sitting on top of the soil. We use the cross, means something growing in the soil. Growing in the ground. And then the second horizontal line here symbolize the surroundings of the root of that thing growing. So we infer that as the soil. Human standing on top of soil, looking at the moon. And another person here, also two legs standing, being human, have the bottom frame, bottom left corner. If you see this sign, that means on the ground. Somebody is on the ground or on top of the soil. This person, both of them are looking at the moon. That's look, this far, far away, as far as you can see, kind of look. Now we have the moon symbol, right? Crescent moon. This is another rendering of the crescent moon. And then this is the gridded window. Ancient times, no glass window panes. And for light to come through, this big hole on your wall cannot be just one big hole. We have to put, because no glass, right? We use paper, and the paper can easily broken. And so we have to paste the paper on top of a framework, kind of an intricate pattern, so that the light can still come in, but the paper can sit on top of something without easily be broken. So that's ancient window pane look. And then this moon going through the window pane is how we detect its brightness, because we don't use the sun to mean bright. Sun is universally bright throughout the day. There's no differentiation. But if you are able to see the moon through the window grid, the moon light casting into your room, that means it's bright enough to see that. And not every day you're going to have that kind of moonlight, right? Only when the moon is fuller, and then you can see the bright enough. 举头望明月. Now, 低头思故乡. Okay, let me go to the 低头. So 举头, 低头, that's two motion, two angle of looking at things, right? 低头, same head. Now you're lowering it. This lowering have a human figure on the left side, just looking like that. And I discovered later that this human figure, two strokes, means this is the front side of the body, and this is the back side of the body. The whole torso and your legs streamlined into this. And this is left-facing human figure, because in Chinese, left-facing is forward-facing. Okay, it's a reverse of the contemporary mathematical expression of the time scale, time direction, or direction, right? So we're not going, the line, the axis is not from left to right. We're drawing ancient times right to left. Okay, the top is 士. 士 is ancient, I guess, the lineage of aristocracy. So, okay, picture this. The king or the ancient whatever, the ruler on the top, right? And then it got its tribes or its siblings. They are all aristocrats. And they marry, they have multiple kids. So how you're going to position in a whole societal structure, your offsprings. So this 士 is one of Chinese way to differentiate your bloodline. Apparently, ancient times, parents don't treat all their kids equal. Some are going to inherit the title. Some are going to disperse, like go find out your own place. Okay. So this 士 was a type of ancient, I guess, came from the royalty and then keeps the bloodline diluted, like a further removed from the highest power. So this power downgrading process pointing down all the way to the ground level. So that's how social hierarchical, lineage-wise, this diluting part of your royaltiness all the way to the ground. That's how lower it is expressed. And then this talking about human, I mean, only societal assign values like that, right? Trying to build this hierarchy thing, trying to evaluate how close you are to power, right? So then this lower is this human low, okay? So that's lower, eventually becomes emotion without the power part of it. 低头, lower your head, and then 思 means you're thinking something hard. So thinking in ancient times, we actually use the heart symbol as well as the head symbol. So miss, this is thinking, this reminiscent of your mental function. In today, we know it's wholly happen in the brain. Ancient times, we use both the brain and the heart. This connectivity of your bodily feeling something and your cognitively feeling something together means the miss. So the heart is a pump. We have 3 tubes, input tube, output tube, and the third tube to power the heart itself. And then the head is simply some complex structure, right? I like how Chinese just cross it. I mean, there's something, we don't want to discuss it here. We just represent its intricate. It's something undefined in there, in that domain. And there's the chimney on there. I'm not sure if Chinese view it's, okay, now I have a second thought. Okay, it could mean head, right? But that chimney on the top is like, well, human head, we don't have antennas like that. We're not bots, right? We don't receive signals like that. So it could be not a human head over there. It could be a spool of thread. So if it's a spool of thread, if you ever see a spool of thread, then you're going to understand that this is the tip of the spool. And then this crisscrossing thing is the thread. One is going around in circles around the spool is going to go in a zigzag way to go this way and then go this way. And so that things are not tangled, it's in order. So the spool of thread paired with heart. So again, I guess ancient times probably they don't view the heart, okay, emotional, mental, cognitive, all attributes of mental activities were attributed to the heart. So something going on in your heart as if you're trying to sort out the spool of thread. Okay, you're trying, so it's a long train of thought, so to speak. So when you're doing this long train of thought thinking on your heart, is that kind of, what's the word for it? It's not a reminiscence. It's kind of overthinking, right? You start to overthink about something. 故乡, we have 鼓, 10 mouths. So number 10, which is roping, you tie a knot on the rope. This is a rope. This is a knot indicator. That's for number 10. And the mouth symbol symbolize speaker, symbolize a person who speak, symbolize a generation of that person who speak. Okay, so 10 generations, roughly 250 years. In ancient scale, probably even just 200 years. 200 years is enough for ancient times to regard as ancient. So this is the concept of ancient, okay? And then you have a 3-finger hand symbol holding on something. So 3-finger hand symbol holding this vertical line plus horizontal line is a fortune-telling device back then. Looks pretty simple. And then you're basically trying to predict. So here we're saying ancient, where you came from, who your ancestors are going to predict pretty well of how you're going to experience your life. So that's just acknowledge the influence of your family, your generic inheritance, and people use that to refer to where they came from. That's their source. They carry the source code of their lineage, right? And not only through the generic code, but also through culture, right? Your upbringing from that family line, and that's your gu, that's your source. I translate it as old town, but this is your source, where you came from, your origin story, town. Okay, town is made of, you see this is symmetrical imagery? This is a person sitting on a hill, elongated. And then we have the mouse symbol. So to me, I mean, not just to me, this symbol by itself means a kind of a township. Ancient times, there are different layers of municipality structure, ancient times. So this is one such a panel of somebody kneeling, sitting means submissive, somebody you don't need to fight with, somebody who is already follow you, the leader, the ruler. And then this kind of like a big circle thing, that means land. So you have a land, submissive people, you have a mirror image in there, means on both sides of it. And they are actually trying to share a pot of rice. Okay, a little bit weird here. So this is the shuffle, either regarded as something like a big spoon. You're going to scoop out the rice from the rice cooker. Looks like the rice cooker. Or this is a stand for the rice cooker to sit on. However you want to view it, either the utensil or the stand. This rice cooker in this oval shape with horizontal line, that's the same structure as the sun, which is energetic ball, a sphere with energy in it. And think about it, each grain of rice is a small capsule of the sun energy. And Chinese character acknowledge that. And the difference is that there is one spike on top of that. So it's related to cooking, to food. So we have this aromatic smell of rice, freshly cooked rice, and then two sides are trying to, eat from that pot. So this dining-centered culture define our township because what is a town? Town is people who can gather safely, eat pot of rice. And actually in ancient times, the hierarchy of build up from small individual household to like your alley, your neighbors, and expanded to your whole, your town, your county, all that, right? Ancient time have that hierarchy. So xiang is actually roughly 1,000 households in ancient times scale. Okay, so 低头思故乡, that's your township, that's your origin. And when you look at the moon, that connecting object in the sky, that's when you become the most homesick. And for Chinese who, like me, get out of China, build their life somewhere else on another continent, somewhere else, foreign country, definitely way away from the hometown. Every year, the moon cake symbolizes the moon, the connecting factor. We carry it also with the food, right? It's a ceremonial thing. It's a ritual for you to stay connected to your origin, to your 故乡, your where you came from. So every year when I eat that food, where I have been eating, since childhood, every year, it's building in me. Whenever I eat this, whenever the year turn around to this time, I'm going to be homesick. So this poem explains why moon has such a strong homesickening factor. All right, so there you go. 举头望明月，低头思故乡. See you another day.